Hello and happy holidays. This is my final vlog of the year. And I guess the kickoff to the 10, maybe, days of LALAMAS, where I post a video every day for as many days as I feel like. There might be a gap. There might be one day that I don't do something, but you'll see me a lot, maybe too much. And this vlog is going to be festive. Anytime I'm doing some type of festive activity, I don't know if there will be any that I can think of, I will take you along with me. I guess today we can kick it off because I have to get some advent calendars for the boys and I don't know what I'm going to do for them, so I'm going to go to the mall in HomeSense. I just got here and I realized that it's Black Friday in the States and there might be some Canadian stores who are participating. Even if there's not that many, I imagine the stores might be full of people expecting sales, so this probably wasn't my best decision, but I have to get it done because December 1st is right around the corner. I have no idea what I'm going to end up reading for this vlog. I'm thinking I have this advent calendar romance book that I bought, so definitely that, reading a chapter a day. Although I need to get like an envelope opener or letter opener to feel fancy with it. And then I want to pick up some kind of romance. I have a couple in mind. This one is a book of the month pick. I don't know if I would order it from them because it's like a $25 credit and the paperback in store is like $18. But I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about a couple other ones. I might go to the bookstore. Yeah, I guess I have to go to the bookstore today to decide which one I want to read. And then I have this holiday anthology I started months ago for a different separate video, and I read like one or two stories from, and I thought maybe I would pick that one up. So I'm reading something horror, and that might be it in this vlog. I'm not totally sure, but you can hang out with me if you want. Holiday mystery. That's what I forgot. That's what I needed. This one feels pretty dense. Like, it's a really heavy book, but I think it's the kind where you can play along, find the clues, play along, solve the murder first. And I think that'll be fun. Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife. In my winter TBR, I mentioned, I threw a bunch of Christmas mysteries up on the screen and asked you guys if you had any feelings about any of them. And pretty much every single one of them, everyone was like, no, not that one. So I decided on that one. And then I did end up buying Good Spirits just because it was there and it was on sale. And I'm still going to check out a couple other ones that I think are actually indie or self-published, so I need to get them from elsewhere. I got the advent calendars I needed, cookies and cream for baby Liam, and Bueno for my husband. And then I got a little cookie making kit. This one's gingerbread, and I think that'll be fun for us to do. What else did I get? I got this really pretty wrapping paper. I think the color this year is going to be blue. I'm going to wrap all the presents in blue. I thought this was really pretty too. It's not very festive, but it's cute. I got a book fan for my mom. I think she's going to love this. And then I got myself cavatappi pasta because I'm going to make Teeny's mac and cheese this year. So I will call my first shopping day of the season a success. So I found this mystery book as an Audible exclusive, and I'm going to listen to it while I wrapped a bunch of presents. I wasn't sure if I wanted to read this one, but I've recently picked up a Lisa Unger called Countdown to 10, close your eyes and count to 10, something like that. And I liked it more than the general public seems to. So I wonder if that'll be the case with this one too. So I'm gonna wrap these, and I'm just gonna give you my review as a voiceover as this all happens. At this point, I haven't read it. I'm gonna pop in my headphones. Hey, it's me after the fact. I don't actually have a lot to say about the kill clause, so you're gonna watch me try to open this tape for a really long time. I was getting so angry at this tape that I could not find the edge of. I could not pick it up with my fingernail. I've never had this much of a problem with tape before. I almost crashed out. Yeah. So the kill clause, now that I have my shit together. Oh, except I immediately cut my finger on the little, you know, saw pieces. I have like 20 little slices all in a row. That's when I realized it was actually bleeding. Then I was sad again. Okay, the kill clause is about this woman. She's a hired killer and she can't complete the job because there's a child present. And so she makes the decision to postpone the kill. And the boss goes, well, that wasn't your call. Like you can't just change the plan. So now there's a hit out on her. That's the entire plot of the story. Like that's the pitch and that's my review. That's all it was. I didn't hate it. Like I don't think that Lisa Unger is a terrible author. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that 3 stars. And that's my entire takeaway. And here are all the presents that I wrapped. Rob asked to be in my vlog. He said, I want to be in your vlog. Here we are. First things first, we have to light the candle. Do you have a letter opener?
No. I don't receive letters.
I don't like that.
Do you need help?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. It's just taped.
I thought you were gonna light it in my face. Happy December 1st. Whoa! You're so close to my face!
I got excited. So you just wait till it hits the 2? Is that the point?
You're so smart.
Do we know how long that takes?
I think you're supposed to burn a candle for 2 hours first time you light it, just to make sure it doesn't pool. Okay, the other advent calendar thing I have to open is this. This is a romance novel, and every single day you get a chapter.
Oh. Oh, it opens. Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cute?
Do you want me to hold 2 sides so you don't rip the whole page out? Oh, yeah. Let me just go grab a knife.
No, a knife.
Isn't that just a letter opener but one-sided? Excuse me.
How?
What?
You didn't push me into the candle.
You don't have to be so scared of a candle.
Why is there a knife in your nightstand?
All my knives are in my nightstand.
Wow. I don't... Oh, you have to split all of them.
Oh, you have to go down the center.
Oh, so you're just a letter opener. Wow. Okay, so I'll get back to this in a second, but our other advent things. This one's 12 days.
You're good. I'll tell you if you're on fire.
I have so much hair product in.
Oh yeah, you're super flammable.
Rob got me 12 Days of Christmas, and I'm pretty sure this is soap. So maybe it's good that I'm not opening one every single day. I can open one every other day. I just already bathed. So if this is like a bath bomb, which is what I think it is, I'll have to use it tomorrow. Look how cute! Did you get to see it in store, what it looked like?
No.
Oh my god, it smells so strong. It's styrofoam. Gold pear shower gel. That's so much of it too. I figured each of these would be like a bath bomb and I would get to use it all in one go, but this is gonna last me a while. Thanks! I didn't want a chocolate calendar this year, so I told Rob to get me something more creative. Yours is not as big of a surprise as mine.
It's an egg. A bueno egg.
If you look at the back, it spoils everything. So don't
I'm not gonna look.
Liam already opened his, and he doesn't like us enough to hang out with us whilst. No. Okay, I'm gonna let this burn, and I'm gonna read this first chapter. What are you gonna do?
Play Arc Raiders.
Sure. You're balder when they you're balder than when they saw you last.
Yep.
Here's my updates. My candle is still burning and it hasn't gone down a day. And my book is not good, I don't think. The first chapter is this woman, she's in university to be a sociologist, and she's taking a class and she goes into her sociology class and she's like, I hate it here. I'm so bad at this. I'm so dumb. Like, she's talking to her friend, she's like, you know what's going on. Like, you should answer the questions or whatever. And I'm like, why would you be getting a degree in something you don't even care about or like? And then her boyfriend, she met up with him and he said the exact same thing I said. So they're probably gonna break up. They're both very, very rich, and it's not really fun to read about. So that was the first 13 pages. Oh, also, this shit smells so good. I know this is the holiday vlog, so it's supposed to be inherently festive. I just don't feel the festive energy yet. We haven't gotten any snow yet in December. So we've been going up to the ski hill, and I got some gingerbread stuff so we can decorate cookies and like force the festive feeling. I was trying to force it with the advent calendar stuff, but I honestly gave up on the book after a couple days. So I'm gonna read a bunch of chapters at a time. I'm not a 1 chapter a day kind of girl. It is not working for me. And that damn candle, okay, something about me, maybe people know, I don't like fire. I don't like burning the candle. I really don't like burning my advent candle because it takes like 3 hours just to put it down one day. And yeah, I've kind of given up. Is this person about to hit me? And it stresses me out having a candle burning for that long. Even if I'm staring at it the entire time. So we're forcing the holiday energy with the cookies and with good spirits. This started out really promising and now I'm 100 pages in and I don't know. I think it's going to be too sentimental and soft for me. I thought it was going to be the kind of fun one where it's like time travel. It's reliving portions of your life. We have a character named Harriet and she isn't like a bad person. She hasn't done a whole bunch of terrible things. But the ghost of Christmas past comes to her and he's used to dealing with terrible people. And so he's like waiting for her to reveal the terrible thing that she's done. And I guess like the answer in the end is just going to be her terrible thing is like thinking that she's terrible her entire life. She is painfully insecure. But at the beginning, it wasn't like that. She seemed really confident. She was like calling this guy out because he just appeared in her living room because he's a ghost. And he's like, I'm a ghost. And she's like, you broke into my house, get out. She was really assertive and I was having fun. And then the flashbacks aren't really like her reliving anything. It's just we kind of see a sad moment in her life, sometimes a happy moment. And it's just very brief. And it's mostly about their love story, which I want to like. But I don't know, I don't feel anything towards them yet. But I'm only a third of the way in. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to decorate those cookies. I have a very wintry dinner planned. And that's what's happening.
It's powder.
It's probably the icing?
It's powder.
To make the icing?
It's in German. I don't speak German.
I want this one. You know why?
Buderzucker?
Because it's the biggest. I know how to read this. There's instructions.
In the back.
You'll need one
That's
egg
German.
white and one icing bag.
I'll just eat my cookie right now.
Is it a skull?
It was supposed to be. Let's just break it out.
So you make it flat.
I need a toothpick.
These are tasty.
Not if you like your teeth.
It tastes at least 20 years old.
Actually,
Liam, you don't have to use it all.
I want this to be the tastiest cookie ever.
This is actually horrifying.
Oh, is that his heart?
Show everyone our designs. Last year they rated our sweaters and Liam actually won. Or do you want to show them your other one? Which one do you think is better, Rob?
They're both bad, so that one's fine.
Does he have a name? He looks like a goober to me. You know what? I'm taking a bite of mine. Oh, so good.
That looked like the perfect consistency of a gingerbread cookie.
I have 3 books in front of me and I can't remember what I was talking to you about. I finished Good Spirits. I'm giving this a 3. I liked the beginning. I really liked the opening. I liked the idea of this, but it didn't really go in the direction that I thought it would. And, you know, that's not fair because books like this are going to be really warm and sentimental and romantic. And that's just not, I'm looking for something more fun. And because the concept is fun, like I don't just want to pick up a bunch of contemporary romance because I know it's hard to find the really fun ones, especially during the holiday season. Like you expect them to get sentimental and warm and cozy and loving and just like huge proclamations of love. But I figured if I go in a speculative direction, then it could bring the fun energy. It didn't really. She runs this vintage store. I loved learning about that. She's kind of estranged from her family, or they have like a relationship that's pretty distant. And she just is regularly saying beautiful things like, no one has ever loved me like this, and no one has ever seen me like this, and no one has ever thought of me and done things for me like this. And that's a beautiful, great journey for her. But it was also just a lot of contentious relationships to wade through, and watching her memories and like the difficulty with family. It was just like a bummer. There was a lot of stressful arguing. I don't think he had too much of a personality Like it was all just fine and soft, and I'm sure other people will love it. Now, this fuck-ass book. First of all, I hate opening these. I hate opening them in general. I hate opening one every day. One chapter a day, in theory, is a nice idea, but nothing is happening in this book. Like, it's the 12th day of Christmas, and the book gave to me the same fucking scene that happened in the first chapter. If I'm gonna open a chapter a day, I want there to be something interesting happening each day. Like, this should have been organized like, what am I thinking of? There's some kind of book. I don't know if it was the 10 Blind Dates of Christmas or whatever that was called, or there's another book I'm thinking of where like every day there was like an item or something that made the character go do something. Like, this should have been her completing a list or, you know, doing something in each chapter, because this is so boring. Like, first of all, she's mad crushing on this guy while she has a man. The man she does have is critiquing her for volunteering at a food bank and saying that she's just some like rich girl posing as like a humanitarian and wanting to like find a purpose. And that is what she's doing. And also she is like kind of obnoxious about it. She's like, I have nothing going on in my life. I'm gonna drop out of school. I need to find my passion. Let me go help these poor people and maybe they'll teach me something. And then the guy she's crushing on happens to be one of the people getting a food hamper like every day. He's a student and he can't afford food any other way. He goes to the same school as her. Her first thought when she sees him there is like, oh, don't worry, I won't judge you. I know that you're poor and this is like really sad. So sad you have to be here, you poor, poor, sad boy. But I'm not gonna judge you. Like, I'm above it. I know I'm rich and I'm beautiful and I'm perfect, but I've changed my ways and I would never look down on a poor person. Meanwhile, her boyfriend is like talking shit about all these poor people. And she goes to comfort him, like, I'm not gonna judge you, as if that's his number one concern in life when he can't afford food, is that you, some random girl in his class, is gonna know that he has no money. I'm 200 pages into this book and that's all that's happened, is a scene with this guy, a scene with her boyfriend, a scene at the food bank in 12 chapters. Thank goodness they didn't put a price tag on this. Otherwise I would remember how much I bought it for. And I'd probably be talking even more shit about this because the way it's constructed, surely this was expensive. When I'm feeling brave, I think I'm just gonna spend a day reading the rest of them and opening them all in one day because I cannot do this anymore. And today I'm gonna get back into what I need to be reading, which is an anthology about scary stories. Now, I read quite a few of these actually in the video where I guess you haven't seen me read them unless you're a channel member and you saw this video where I was reading like 200 short stories to prepare for this video, which is public, where I like guessed who wrote each story in a collection. But I read the ones from Josh Malerman, Sarah Langan, Joe R. Lansdale, Tim Levin, and Michael Carita. So like I've already actually read half of these. I'll go back to that video and remind myself what I thought of any of the stories, and then I'll recap them, and then I will read the rest of them. There's one by Shauna McGuire in here, and I don't know if there's any other authors. Yeah, Sarah Pinborough that I'm familiar with. Actually, hold on. I have notes in my phone from every single short story that I read. So the one by Josh Malerman in here was called, oh my God, where is it? Tenants. It was about a dinner party where a cult leader was invited, or they were invited by a cult leader. There was a confrontation. I said it was really bland. Okay, so that sounds like it was maybe a 3. Joe R. Lansdale's was called, no, I don't know what it was called. I didn't write that down apparently. The Second Floor, oh, I thought that was my note. The Second Floor of the Christmas Hotel is what it was called. And I said it was about a man who meets up with a friend who tells him a story about a woman who went missing from a hotel. They encountered a creature or ghost while they were there. It was a really traditional, good, classic feeling Christmas story. Okay, so that sounds like a 4. Trying to interpret my own notes. Tim Levin's was called Home. I said, I have no clue what the heck is happening. An old Bob guy, but maybe not a guy. There was a workshop and dead bodies. Okay, that sounds like a 2. This is more fun than me just actually reading it right now. Michael Carita's was called Hiking Through. Hiking before choosing life. It was about trying to build endurance He heard a story of a witch who died on this wintry trail, and he eventually encountered that witch. Then we got a lot of backstory about how he became interested in hiking. Then he became the witch. Oh, I just spoiled that. I gave it a 3 out of 5. That one I wrote down a rating for. Okay, maybe I was wrong and this isn't the most promising collection. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Success of the day, I finished my Christmas shopping. Liam had a good hockey game. It was funny because I wasn't filming any of it. And I pulled out my camera at one point. I was like, oh, I'll film a quick clip for the vlog. Liam scores. It was a great game. I think it was like 11-5 maybe by the end. There was a fight. A child got suspended. But the biggest one was the Christmas shopping. Everything is done. I feel a sense of peace. And speaking of hockey, the hockey team, we're not on a hockey team that does the family gift, like adopt a family thing. So I was feeling like maybe not fully in the holiday season because I wasn't thinking about everybody else. I wasn't doing stuff for other people. So I did a big donation buy. It's not called Angel Tree in Canada, but it's like a similar idea if you've seen a lot of Angel Tree content. Okay, bye, son. The bad thing of the day. This is not good. No, it's not good, my friends. I think short story collections are good for two things. Other than like the enjoyment of the story itself. One, you get to read more from authors that you've liked before, or two is you get introduced to authors who you might want to read more from. I think this is exclusively the latter. If you have not read from all of these people, this will give you an idea of the stories that they write, and then all of the themes that they introduce and like barely follow through with. You can find longer novels from them that actually explore those things and actually tell a compelling story. Because the plot of all of these is so weak. And when I say I want a short story to end with like a punch, like a twist, like something intriguing, I don't mean the last line of it is, and then she screamed. Because like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's not anything. Like 2 stories back to back were about somebody witnessing some kind of evil entity. And then at the end, another person like came home or whatever, and then went into the bathroom and they screamed. And that's like the end of the story. That's not scary because another character is screaming. That's not scary. Absinthe and Angels by Kelly Armstrong was about 2 people who were facing fears. And there was like these people asking for food outside of their house. It was really stupid and repetitive. I gave it 2 stars. Christmas in Barcelona by Scott Smith was this couple who just had a baby and they were like, oh, we can't live the same life now, but let's still try to go on this vacation anyway, even though we have our baby. It was kind of like this weird sentient object thing, and then it ended with a scream. The Shauna Maguire was fine. I gave it 3 stars, fresh as new fallen snow. But it was really just the Wayward Children series, but like watered down. It was just the idea of a child who needed like a better home. Idea Enough to Love Me by Thomas E. Sneoksty. It was so long and so boring. And at the end, it was just like this creature who needed a baby who needed to feed on people, I think. Not Just for Christmas by Sarah Lotz was a 1. It was about this like divorced dad who got this AI robot pet for his kids to try to get back into his wife's good graces, ex-wife. And the robot dog started like swearing. It was like Ted. It was so annoying. I already hate talking animals. Like, why are we also making it a robot? Snake's Tale by Sarah Langan was just another changeling story. It's like something I've definitely already read from her. It's a Wonderful Knife was like this Hollywood boring revenge story. I gave it a 2. Okay, and then the one that I think everyone else will hate, so I'm not going to recommend this collection because you're going to hate this one. Good Deeds by Jeff Strand. I gave a 5 though. It's so incredibly stupid. The writing itself was what was just so funny because it was absurdist. Like if you can go get, maybe it's on Kindle Unlimited or something, or you can go on Spotify and just because they have 15 free hours or whatever with your membership, if you have a membership, just listen to that one because then you'll know so much about my taste. It's just the storytelling itself was stupid. It was about a young boy who wanted shoes for his dying mother, and the person who purchased the shoes and then decided they were just like the greatest person of all time. Mistletoe and Holly by James A. Moore. I also DNF'd. And now here we are halfway through, but I've already read a couple of the ones in the latter half. So I'm going to get through a couple more. I'm going to give this whole collection probably like a 2. And I can't believe I was convinced that I liked the stories that I read in here already. And I was like, oh, this is going to be incredible. I can't wait to recommend it to everybody. This is still valuable though. Me disrecommending something, I think this has value because we're all looking for actually good holiday books. And I just don't feel like there's that many out there. There was a story called Pharaoh Street. I gave it a 2. It was this woman who was scared of things, including wallpaper. Yankee Swap was bad. It was 2 stars. It ended with a scream. And I called the 911. Honor Thy Mother by Angela Slatter. Just not very memorable. It was maybe a 3. Sarah Pinborough's In the Back was so long. I couldn't wait for it to end. It was like 60 pages when a lot of the other stories were sometimes like 16 pages. There was one in here called Dr. Velocity by Jonathan Mayberry. That one was the best written in the entire collection. It wasn't horror though. Like it had a lot of really great quotes about art and creation, mortality, and passion. But it kind of felt like it was maybe a story that already existed. And then he just threw in a character saying Merry Christmas. And that turned it into a Christmas story. Befit for this collection. Befit? Is that a word? Maybe. Anyway, this was a waste of my time and a waste of my money. Don't buy it. See you later. It is December 21st and it's time for a mystery. I just did a Codenames live show with Rob and my channel members. We did like a holiday version where there were some holiday clues. It was so much fun. I can't wait to do a couple more in 2026. Liam is up snowboarding with a friend and Rob is now out. He's on call this week. He's actually on call like for Christmas, so he could get called to have to do some work while we're doing our festivities. He's getting a couple Christmassy things ready and hoping he doesn't get a call. And it's my mom's birthday. So I'm about to go over to her house. I have to grab her a poinsettia on my way because that's the go-to gift. And I'm reading this, Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife. It's interesting. Even Richard, like of all people, Richard Osman blurbed this one. So it's not just a silly Christmas mystery that, you know, anybody could write. It is actually a well-penned one. It's not just about the gimmick, but it is very much about the gimmick because there's this whole introduction where there are rules and you are intended to connect all of the clues. There are 6 people visiting this manor, Harry, Karis, Baz, Poppy, Zach, and Grace. And there are, I think, 6 people at the manor already who like work there, who are running the game. Jeremy, Bernadette, Chandra, Daisy, Ethan, Frankie, and me, question mark, because the book does talk to me as if I'm a person at the manor. We're getting to know everybody. So like Baz is a podcaster, Harry's a crime writer. One of these characters did something bad to another character, but also don't know who each other are somehow. So they're like strangers who are invited. And I think all of the competitors are like bad people who've done something bad. And there's a cash prize for who can solve the murder. But I'm guessing like one of the people putting on the murder game is actually going to die, and then it turns into like a real mystery. The only thing I can say to you at this point, like 18 pages in, is do not grab the audiobook of this if you're somebody who cannot physically read anything. Like if the audiobook is your only option, like this just in general is not going to be the book for you, because you know how some books, if they have an audio version, they also have a PDF that has a bunch of images. This has that. They have like a website. However, it's not just images, it's full text documents that are not read to you in the audiobook. They're only available like on the website. So there's still plenty of actual physically reading you will have to do if you do the audiobook. There was an entire blog post that was missing from the audiobook. The invitation, for some reason, the invitation on the very like second page wasn't on the audiobook. This was not read out to me. So I'm wondering if the reason for that is because there are clues like within this. Then there's this one, which is a list of books written by one of the authors. And this one was read out to us, which I think is interesting because if I circle all the letters in the first word, it spells out Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife, but 2 of the letters are in the wrong order. So I'm trying to figure out if that's a clue or if that was like a misprint. I'm sure it's not a misprint, but I can't imagine what that is a clue for, because it's not like there's extra letters or letters missing that would make me, you know, connect things later. It's just that they're in the wrong order. And I don't think that's too much of a spoiler because that happens on the 16th page. It doesn't mean anything at this point. And I think it's the easiest one for anybody to connect, but maybe not if you're listening to the audiobook. So I think this is like pretty much, I would exclusively say this is a book you should be reading physically, or like a tandem read, so you have the physical one in your hands. There really are no pictures in here. There's maybe one that's a map or something. I don't understand why they wouldn't just read out the invitation and the website description of Midwinter, the place that they're going. Anyway, this is the kind of story that I like. A bunch of people are invited somewhere, and one by one, you know, their secrets are exposed, or they're picked off, or they have to figure out each other's secrets. I just hope that the gimmick of this, where I'm also supposed to solve things and it includes me, is actually something that's a positive experience and it doesn't feel like silly. Oh, he's written all these other books. Oh, okay. Wait, this blurb is probably not for this book. It's a blurb for Martin Edwards. It says a true master of British crime writing. So he didn't necessarily read this and say, oh, this is like the winter Christmas book you all need to read. It's just about him as an author. Oh my God. Let's see if I can make the lighting in my kitchen, in my cupboard, when you're inside the cupboard with me, a little more tolerable. When I started doing the podcast with Libby, they sent me this light. Will I ever be a proper YouTuber? Unlikely. Anyway, I put decorations on my tree. Finally, I put my tree up and I put the decorations on and the lights and everything. Everything's fine. It's a fine tree. I was going to show you on Christmas Eve, I'm going to make this thing that I saw, like overnight French toast. So when you wake up Christmas morning, you just have to put it in the oven and it's been soaking overnight. I bought the most beautiful loaf of bread because you're supposed to have 2-day-old bread. So I was like, okay, I'll leave this in the cupboard for the next 2 days. Then I almost got in a car accident on the way home. It's not funny. And all of my groceries from my back seat flew into my front seat or hit the back of the back seat. And my bread was a casualty. So I'm gonna have to get another loaf of bread and do something with this. Maybe something with like breadcrumbs. I don't know. People are just so unaware of what's happening around them at Christmas time. It's like they're so singularly focused that distracted driving is at an all-time high. Like, I really can't take it. People don't signal. People do whatever they want in parking lots. It is making me lose my mind. I was driving 100 kilometers an hour. That's the speed limit. There are 2 lanes, a slow lane, a fast lane. In the slow lane, a line of semi-trucks, all driving slowly up this very steep, winding hill. I'm going 100. In the lane I'm supposed to be in, passing them all. One of them in the middle gets impatient and decides he's just gonna go into my lane right in front of me. There's a median, there's a line of semis. I have nowhere to swerve around him. I had to slam on my brakes so hard. It is the closest I've ever gotten to an accident in this Jeep since I got it 6 years ago. If literally he could have waited maybe 1 minute and it's a straightaway and it's flat again. But on a curve where he definitely couldn't see anything happening in the other lane, he decides, no, I'm just gonna go over here. I was like in such shock. I didn't even honk. I didn't do anything. I just had to stop behind him. Like, that's how slow the semis were going and how slow he had to go even to get into the other lane. Like, we almost came to a full stop. Not my favorite way to start my morning. Actually, my morning started driving an hour for Liam to get to a different ski hill because one of his friends invited him up to a different hill. But at least I have most of the ingredients for my French toast overnight thing. But actually, I think Christmas Eve day, the kids are gonna want to go up snowboarding again. I don't know. I can bring my Christmassy romance, my last one, and then I can sit in the lodge and just like knock that out, and that'll be my last read for the video. Not quite the last read for the year. I have maybe 2 more things I'm gonna read in the last like couple days of the month. That's my update. I just wanted to let you know about my bread. Do you want to do one?
Yeah, can I do one?
It's not aesthetic, Liam. Yes, it is. I'm gonna finish this book tonight. It's terrible. Nice. I'm going for my Christmas hair appointment. I slept with my eye mask on and it crushed my hair. I thought that I would be done this vlog by now, and I think all the pieces that I've thrown in here in probably the wrong order is getting chaotic. I'm not going to enjoy editing this. But I am still reading 2 books and I don't like either of them. I think I'm going to take this in with me and finish it. Liam and I ripped open we were trying to do some little ASMR clips so you could hear what it sounds like when you do the perforated pages. I don't know if that really landed. And then I'm also still reading Miss Winter in the Library with a Knife, which, oh my God, I'm struggling with, but I just don't have the time or energy, mental capacity to replace that book with something else. So I'm just persevering. I think I should be done both of those by the end of the day. And then I'm gonna pick up one more Christmassy romance and hope that that's not a flop. That's the plan. I forgot to film a clip afterwards with my hair in the sunlight. This is not a good representation of it. It's actually a little more pink than you're currently seeing. I did finish both of my books. Okay. I kind of feel like I did this book a bit of a disservice. Maybe reading it in the winter, like around the week of Christmas, because maybe my mind wasn't fully invested, but I tried. I moved to the book completely physically. I feel like I was giving it my all. I did solve the little clues that it was asking me to solve. I had an okay time doing it. I just don't know if the book really landed for me. There's two different stories happening at the same time. And every time I was in one of them and the people were solving the fictional crime versus the real crime, I wanted to get back to the other one. But then when I was in the other one, I wanted to get back to the other one. But I also think the construction of this and the writing was fine. I have no real feelings at the end of it. I am giving it a 3. And it does exactly as it promises. It puts you in the book and it gives you things to do and it treats you like a character. And there are little activities for you. And it's fun enough. The gimmick is interesting enough. It made the book better. So where it might have been a 2.5 as far as the actual mystery and how intrigued I was by it and how much I liked the characters and wanted to care about them, the activities brought it up to a 3. Okay, this is a 2. This feels like the first time you write a book, when you're 11 years old and you're in English class and it's write a short story and you go, okay, my main character is rich. She's so rich and she's so pretty and all the boys love her and her boyfriend is super hot and he's also rich, but she wants to help people. She's so nice and she's not just a snobby rich girl. She wants to help the homeless. Turns out there's a homeless guy who has a crush on her. And then the boys, they fight over her. And she learns a lesson in the end that she shouldn't judge people for being poor. That's it. That's the whole book. It felt like an after-school special. It felt like a Babysitter's Club book. It felt more like Sleepover Friends. It was not a fun Christmas story. It introduced a lot of really difficult things medical issues and homelessness and assault and racism, but it dropped them all after just one sentence because she was busy kissing some guy. And then there was a scene of her washing her underwear in his sink, which I don't understand. By the end of the book, we're still wondering multiple things. is she gonna drop out of school? Is this relationship gonna work? Because they argued, they had a fight at the end, and they made up kind of, but the first half of the book was her arguing with her boyfriend. And then the second half of the book, she has a new boyfriend. And then she starts arguing with him too. So we're wondering those two things. And we're also wondering, did she even pass her test? She was still participating in school. And it's why are there so many loose ends? Also, this was not well written. I believe it might have actually been translated because everywhere I see it, it's French. So I wonder if it was French originally, if she wrote both or if it was translated to French. So maybe that's why some of the spelling was wrong. I don't know. Not only was there a Secret Santa, but she was also keeping secrets herself. And that was a big issue in the book. But the Secret Santa, her idea is, she goes, let's do Secret Santa, everybody. And all the people there are we can't afford to do Secret Santa. We don't have any money. And she goes, oh, here's the idea. We'll all go out and pick out a piece of trash so it's free and we'll give that to each other. Merry fucking Christmas. Also, there are footnotes, which I don't understand the need for at all because she's talking directly to us as the reader. And so when she mentions a place that she's going that we might not understand the name of, there's a little footnote explaining it when she could have just said in the paragraph, I'm going to this place. It means this in French. God, fuck this book. Ruined my Christmas. Happy Christmas Eve. I'm back at Big White. I'm here with, I'm here alone, but Liam is here with a couple of his friends. They're snowboarding for the next 4 hours, and then everyone has to head home for their Christmas Eve celebrations. And this is my last chance to read a book for this video and to find a book that I love. So it's gonna be one of these two. We've got A Novel Christmas by Charity Shane. This one, it appealed to me because it's about an author. Love stories about authors. This one is Christmas with Kris Kringle, about an event planner. Love stories about event planners. And she ends up with the Santa Claus of her like mall, local mall. So as always, when I'm up here, I'm gonna go into the lodge. Hopefully we're here a little bit later than normal. Maybe I can still get a couch right by the fireplace, and I'm just gonna lock in. Like, I have nothing else going on. I have my headphones so I can put on some Christmas music, unless they're playing it in the lodge, and I'll just really get into the Christmas Eve vibe. Okay, I'm in the gondola as usual to give you an update. Here's my conundrum. A Novel Christmas seems kind of heavy. I feel like it's gonna be a really emotional kind of one. And also it started off so chaotic. Like, this woman is literally losing her job at her publishing company if she doesn't write a Christmas romance. So the stakes are really high. And then we all have this man who lost his wife, and it's like talking about her last days and her intense cancer, and I just think it's gonna be more sentimental and about healing. Okay, so this one makes more sense, but this one was not edited. Like, literally on the second page, it said the word symbol instead of symbol for the instrument. It was like, oh, what instrument did you play in band? So that just doesn't give me high hopes for how well this book's gonna be written. But this one is a little more intriguing to me. We had a little meet cute at the beginning. Bellen, our main character, is an event planner at her local mall. She's responsible for hiring the Santa of the year. She got them to agree to get a black Santa. He shows up and he is pretty young and I guess like fit, and she doesn't really see the vision. But he's like, I can do this, give me a chance. And the synopsis says he has like a bucket list. So I want this to be fun. So I think I'm gonna commit to this one, even though I don't have a lot of confidence in the writing, but it could just be a one-off, you know? I'm going to the top to get a hot chocolate, and then I'll head back down. I actually brought my own lunch. I have a little yogurt in the back of my vehicle because I ate like shit yesterday, and I know that, you know, Christmas meals are coming, so I just brought my typical yogurt with me because I was not feeling well yesterday. Anyway, I'll let you know how the book's going when I know how the book's going. Their first date was tubing. As I'm watching people tubing down the hill, they were also in the snow tubing. In this universe, in our book, the man, Kris Kringle, his real name, Kris Kringle, basically invented the Wordle for the New York Times. So he's an app developer. Oh my God, my zipper won't come undone. And now he's super mega rich from his invention. And of course, she can't be interested in his money, but the fact that he has it, makes him so appealing. And the fact that she doesn't care about him being rich, unlike all the other women who date him just for his money, she's appealing to him. The speed at which, I'm done the book, they went from not knowing each other to going on their first date to her having her first orgasm, to them deciding they're in love and going to be together forever. It was under 24 hours. It happened very swiftly. It was a lot to take in. It was so cold. And even the scene itself, them on their first date, and being back at his apartment and getting it on, his penthouse, sorry, it was just so fast. Like, I didn't even get used to them knowing each other, for them to know each other that intimately. And it's not just about the time frame, but it's about like the literal paragraphs. Within one paragraph, they're arriving at the date and she is having an orgasm. And that happened like 4 more times. There was a scene where they were having this intense conversation about her sister who has Down syndrome and the way that they take care of each other and kind of the expectations of her responsibilities in the future. And then they ended the paragraph, it said, and then I got distracted by the bulge in between us. She was straddling him that entire conversation. And there was another one, they were having like an emotional conversation, and it literally at the end of the paragraph, it goes, and then she put my penis in her mouth. There wasn't really any other misspellings really, unless you could count breast. Like, he kept saying breast in every single scene. Like, I swear the word breasts was not in this book. This is a very sexually explicit book. Like, every single chapter had a sex scene pretty much. That's just what it devolved into. But they also were having conversations about their future and falling in love and all of the things they felt for each other. But the word breast came up a lot. It just kept saying like, I love your breast. And I was cradling her breast to the point where I thought maybe she only had one, which is fine. But like, let's establish that. The conflict in this book, because obviously we have to have one, it was completely ridiculous. The way he was over dramatizing what her reaction would be. And then her reaction was even more dramatic than was necessary or that he thought it would be. And then they got over it after like 1 page anyway, which is fine for me because, like I said before, I want a rom-com. Like, I don't want there to be huge conflicts anyway. So the fact they got over it really quickly was great for me, but I just don't think it really fit with the book because it wasn't a rom-com. Anyway, I'm giving this one a 3. Anyway, when I get home, I'm going to prepare the French toast thing, and maybe I'll just give you a final little check-in that's not in the car, because half of this fucking video is in the car. Okay, in 20 minutes, it will officially be Christmas. So I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas. I am making my overnight French toast thing. I currently have brown sugar and butter melting. I'm going to put it in a pan, and then I slice up this bread, which unfortunately they didn't really have the good bread anymore. So I have a loaf. Hopefully this works as well. I slice those up, I lay them in the pan, and then I have this mixture that Rob just made of eggs, cream, orange extract, vanilla extract, and I feel like something else, and pour that on top. And then I can't show you the final product because I'm finishing this video now, and this is gonna soak overnight for the next 8 hours, and then we'll wake up, pop it in the oven for half an hour. I'm very excited about it. We just finished our Christmas Eve festivities at Rob's parents, which was very lovely. Then tomorrow we'll hang out with my parents. I just wanted to give you a little end of the video recap, I guess. Everything that I read in this video I gave 2 or 3 stars, which is really par for the course with me and holiday stories, even though I want to love them so bad. If you have any recommendations for next year, because I love doing these festive videos, even if the books don't go super well. My update on my Advent, I actually only got to 12 days, which is kind of perfect because then I can just burn this again in the 12 days leading up to Christmas next time. And I didn't finish this Advent calendar. I only used like 2 of the bath bombs, and a lot of this is still a mystery. So I'm just gonna consider this a Christmas present now, and I'm gonna bathe more in the next couple weeks. Like, I shower every day, twice a day, most days, but I don't take baths enough, and this should have encouraged me to do that. But the last couple weeks were really chaotic, and I'm just happy that I read all the books that I planned to, even if they didn't go great. My top recommendation, the mystery. Next highest recommendation, this one. I feel like it'll work for most anybody. And then these 3 you can probably pass on, unless this is like right up your alley and it was already on your TBR, then like, yeah, it probably delivers exactly what you're expecting. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this vlog. It is, I've decided, actually kicking off 12 days of LALAMAS. I don't always commit to a certain amount of days, and I think my title screen just says the many days, but anyway, I am gonna do 12. There are some days though that require like direct, perfect sunlight, and in the off chance that doesn't happen, I might have to skip a day, but there will still be 12 videos, and I will see you in tomorrow's. It's gonna be a book haul. I'm pretty sure there's a couple presents over here that look like books, so I'll see you tomorrow with maybe some of those. Bye.